Today I'm heading from Coober Pedy to William Creek. The track has been fairly good. There's been a few places where it's been quite soft, and there's been a couple of places where there's been washboard corrugations. But apart from that, it's been perfectly fine. This is only the second bit of washboard corrugation. It's not too bad. I'm sure it will get a lot worse in the next few days. After a long day on the road, I finally made it to the smallest town in Australia. This is William Creek, permanent population 3. The only pub in town has the most amazing food and hospitality I've encountered anywhere. I consider staying forever. They also do a pretty mean sunset at William Creek. But that's enough staring at the sunset. Tomorrow is a big day. I'm heading to Lake Eyre. Here is William Creek from the air. Completely surrounding William Creek is the world's largest cattle station. This is Anna Creek Station. Everything you can see here, stretching far beyond the horizon in every direction, is a single property. In fact, it is so big, it is larger than many small European countries, and it takes 5 hours to fly across it. This whole area used to be an ancient seabed, and you can see from the air the ripples created on the surface by currents. Yes, this is still Anna Creek Station. This is the painted desert. The colours that you see are created by erosion, slowly exposing different minerals in the hills. It was called the painted desert by the Aboriginal people long before aeroplanes existed. However, you can only really see these colours from the air. We're just about to enter Lake Eyre National Park, as you can see behind me. So Lake Eyre is about 170 kilometres down that way. Apparently the track is rather soft and wet, so you need to be careful. I've just found out that this whole area that we're on is part of Anna Creek Station. Now, Anna Creek Station is the largest cattle station in the world. A total of 24,000 square kilometres. It's bigger than Belgium, and it's all owned by one person, Gina Reinhardt. She's Australia's wealthiest individual, I believe. So all day yesterday and all day today we're driving on the one property. It's enormous. Halligan Bay, 60 kilometres. The track I'm on is heading from William Creek to Halligan Bay at Lake Eyre. Oh god, the corrugations. The track can be quite perilous in places. I really have to watch where I'm going. I don't want to get bogged or get a flat tyre. I'm travelling alone in a very remote part of Australia. The temperature is above 40 degrees and there's no one around for hundreds of kilometres. I am completely alone. I have to be very careful. This landscape is amazing. It feels like I'm on another planet. All I need to do is turn the sky red and I could be on Mars. I feel like the Mars rover. Carolyn Grossmuller perished 11th of December 1998. On the 7th of December 1998, Austrian tourists Karl Goschka and Carolyn Grossmuller left William Creek Hotel to travel east to Lake Eyre. Before leaving the hotel, the couple signed their name in a register and advised the staff of their travel plans so that in the event they should not return within a few days, a search party would be sent. After arriving at the banks of Lake Eyre that evening, they bogged their camper van whilst manoeuvring in the loose sand at the campsite. Although Carl let the tyres down a bit and dug some of the sand away with a plate, he was unable to get it free. They were now stuck at the campsite. However, they had a full 65-litre water tank in the vehicle and enough food to survive for several weeks. Also, they were bogged next to a shelter with a large water tank containing over 300 litres of water. Carl and Carolyn were confident that the hotel staff would raise the alarm and that someone would eventually come to their rescue. But after 2 days of waiting on the banks of the lake, there was no sign of help. They became worried that somehow they were forgotten. Carl and Carolyn decided that they could not wait any longer. They took a tent, various small articles, and 17 litres of water between them. As an experienced walker and medical student, Carolyn estimated they could do about 4 to 5 kilometres an hour, making it possible to cover 65 kilometres overnight before the heat of the day would become unbearable. It sounded like a good plan. However, The temperature was over 40 degrees each day and did not drop below 35 at night. They only walked 5 hours before needing to rest for another 5, having already drunk half of their water. After another 1 hour of walking, Carl felt he couldn't continue. Carolyn decided to push on alone. She took most of their remaining water and Carl's boots because her own shoes had started to melt, and headed off into the night alone. Carl stayed in the tent during the day and returned to the lake that evening. Carolyn only covered half the distance to William Creek and was found dead 5 days later by 2 German tourists. She had died next to the road, halfway between Lake Eyre and the hotel. She managed to walk about 30 kilometres before collapsing. She was found with almost 2 litres of water on her and had walked past cattle troughs and dams containing water, and was only 700 metres from another cattle trough when she died. Carl was rescued that same day. That wasn't that long ago. Just a reminder that this is a very dangerous place. We're about 30 k's from Lake Eyre. I'm determined to make it. Here's Lake Eyre. That is Lake Eyre. Corrugations are getting worse the closer we get to Lake Eyre. Within the space of a minute, the landscape has drastically changed. This granite outcrop, I think it's granite, it's a very, very dark black coloured rock, and there are little speckly bits that are glinting and glistening in the sun, so it must be some sort of mineral. It is full of, here we go, these rocks are completely black in colour. The entire landscape is black. Well, I've just turned around a corner and caught my first glimpse of Lake Eyre. And the surrounding countryside is like being on another planet. It is so dry and desolate. But that there is Lake Eyre. That's about 17 kilometres away. Oh, here we are. That is Lake Eyre. High risk, danger to vehicles. Lake surface soft and treacherous. Vehicles prohibited. Okay. Seeing Lake Eyre up close for the first time is an unforgettable experience. The salt pan stretches out to the horizon in all directions. Lake Eyre is Australia's largest lake and the world's 18th largest. It hasn't been completely full of water for over 100 years. When it does fill up, fish appear from nowhere. The Aboriginal people stay away from the area, believing it is cursed and brings bad luck and death. The lake is the lowest natural point in Australia at 15 metres below sea level, and it has a slope, with the southern end being the lowest point. I am now driving along the coast to Halligan Bay, which is near the lowest point of the lake. Oh, this is Halligan Bay. Let's go this way. It is extremely hot. I'm just about to venture out onto the lake because I have a few things I need to do. I'm standing in the middle of Lake Eyre. It's taken about a week to get here, driven through deserts and all sorts of places. This is a bottle of water that I filled up with snow from the top of Mount Kosciuszko. It's a couple of days till the start of summer and I'm standing in snow, which is Australia's highest point. We're actually going to take some snow, put it in a bottle and take it to Australia's lowest point. Oh, this is definitely snow. This is Lake Eyre. This is Australia's lowest point. I'm now going to tip this water into Lake Eyre. Well, that's mission accomplished. I've been to Australia's highest point, collected some water, and now arrived at Australia's lowest point and tipped that water in. This is quite an amazing place. The layer of crust on which I'm walking is only a millimetre or two thick, and every footstep I take is sinking down into the mud. There's a few times when I've actually sunk down a fair bit, and underneath the crust is this bottomless black ooze that sticks to everything, and my shoes and bottom of my pants are completely covered in this stuff. I think the ooze is made up of prehistoric rotting fish, but nevertheless, mission accomplished. This is the quietest spot I've ever been. apart from the occasional fly, there's not a living creature around. No other humans. No one. Nothing. Nothing to make a noise apart from the wind. Just standing out on the surface of Lake Eyre for about an hour. I am so thirsty. I've been drinking water, but no amount of water can quench my thirst. I just feel so dehydrated and so full of salt. Luckily I have plenty of water, but so thirsty. It was incredibly hot out there. I was carrying this heavy backpack and a tripod, and I was going to set up the tripod and do some filming out on the lake, but every time that I stopped, I sank down. I had to just keep on moving. There's a fork in the road. No sign. Which way do I go? Let's take the left. I've just realised I haven't had lunch yet. Here's a quick lesson on how to find food in the bush. When you look around, there's seemingly nothing at all that's edible. But you need to know where to look. There's a plant the Aboriginals call the snickerbush. And if you dig near the base, there we go. Genuine bush tucker. I think it's the heat. I think I'm going a bit crazy from the heat. Another cattle mustering area. These cattle pens are located all over Anna Creek Station. Anna Creek Station has about 24,000 head of cattle scattered all over the property. Because most of the property is dry, arid desert, the land can only support on average 1 cow per square kilometre. The 20 staff that work on the property use aircraft to locate the cattle and muster them to pens like this one. The track is deceptively soft in some places. I have to be very careful not to get bogged. I just ploughed through some really soft mud. Oh goodness. Oh, that's not good. So not only did the winch controller break off completely, but one of the spotlights was about to fall off and the other one was quite loose. All things that I didn't do. Somebody else did this for me. ARB, name's not mentioned. So I've tightened this. There's a bolt under there, so I've tightened that. I've tightened that one. This is now held on by two zip ties. Yeah, hopefully that will hold. I'll just drive another kilometre and jump out and have a look, but I don't know if that's going to hold. We'll see. Just goes to show that this is a treacherous place, and I've experienced my first bit of mishap, and yeah, not a good place to break down in. Luckily it wasn't that serious, but it might have just jeopardised my Simpson Desert crossing. My original plan was to drive from Halligan Bay to Mount Dare, which is the western entrance to the Simpson Desert. So, according to my map, it's 12 k's back to William Creek, and I'll see what I can do once I get there. Well, I've managed to do a repair. Before I left home, I threw in a couple of coat hangers, and boy did they come in handy. I've managed to tie the winch controller to the spotlights on either side and to the bull bar. Hopefully that will be strong enough to hold it for the rest of the trip. I have another 9,000 kilometres to go. Now I need to decide what I'm going to do. Am I going to the Simpson, or is it too risky with that part being loose? Do I go to the Simpson, or do I go to Alice Springs and Kakadu? I have a lot to think about. But for now, I have another amazing sunset at William Creek to keep me company while I work out where I'm going tomorrow. If you liked this video, let me know by clicking the like button. If you would like to follow what I do, click on subscribe and you will be notified when I release a new video. Thank you for watching.